Hello YouTube family, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Sharita and welcome. And in today's video, we are going to get into some of my most complimented fragrances for last year in 2024. Sometimes it just doesn't matter if they're your favorites or not. There are just certain fragrances that when you put them on, everyone around you just seems to be head over heels for it. And I'm always here for a good compliment. Now, do I wear them to get compliments? No, I don't really wear fragrances for other people's opinions, but it is so flattering, and that is one of the biggest and highest compliments that you can pay someone like myself, is to tell me that I smell amazing. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into today's video of my most complimented fragrances in 2024. All right, you guys, so before we start, as always, be sure that you are subscribed to my channel, and if you find any value in the content along the way, please, because your girl is on the road to 50K, go ahead and give me a big thumbs up. All right, so this first one I want to talk about is actually a combo, and it's almost to the point where I really don't even want to wear Altair by Parfums de Marly alone, because when I layer it with Baccarat Rouge 540, when I say the heads are turning, they're spinning, I'm snapping necks, men compliment me every single time I put this ish on. Okay, so if you're not familiar, Parfums de Marly's Altair, oh my god, we're like halfway through. That's crazy. This one is an ode to the bourbon vanilla. This one is featured in their masculine range, but a lot of these fragrances, they do consider them to be unisex. However, this one is truly unisex. Truly, anyone can put this on. It's not going to lean feminine and it's not going to lean masculine. It's right there in the middle, and it's so perfectly crafted. This one is one you have to love powdery and musky fragrances. This is so musky that it can almost be a little suffocating if you go too hard on the trigger. Okay, so this performs really well. I don't understand, like, some people think that this does not have really good performance. This is one I do overspray, but not super crazy. I would say maybe like 10 to 15 sprays is what I do for this one. And then Baccarat Rouge, I just hit my pulse points with it, you know, just a 1, 2, 3, 4 type of thing, because this has tremendous sillage, so you don't need a lot. They go together so beautifully. They're both really sweet, you know, lots of vanilla in this one, lots of sugar, amber in this one here, and they're both really addictive on their own. So when you layer them, you're really going to just create a beautifully sweet sillage. Okay, so if you love sweet vanilla amber combos with, you know, lots of saffron, then here you go. This one I think has a touch of cardamom, so with the spiciness, the sweetness, you're just gonna smell irresistible, period. Okay, so if that's your goal, try these together layered if you have them, because this one gets them going every time. All right, so again, this one is Parfums de Marly's Altair, and this is Baccarat Rouge 540, the GOAT by Maison Francis Kurkdjian. So next up is going to be from the nose and the house of Mr. Christian Provenzano. This man right here can do fruity fragrances, and sometimes those fruity florals in a way that just hits different. I mean, the man is a master perfumer with a nose like none other. This is raspberry and it is saffron and it is so sweet, but this is a fruity fragrance that is for the grown and sexy woman. If you want something really fun, really flirty, but with some class and sophistication, then ROCCA is one you have to check out, because people love the way this smells on me. It's a beast, it's a powerhouse, you don't need a lot. And so even though it is very pricey, honey, it's gonna last you all day. It's gonna last you all day. You're really going to get that, you know, cost per spray per wear. Just, it's money well spent. I paid full price and I do not regret it. So what I love about this one, honestly, is going to be the way the caramel comes off in here, the saffron and the raspberry. I get that more than anything. Even though there is a really beautiful ambery quality to this, it is definitely those other three notes that I mentioned before that just really make this fragrance shine. So this opens with raspberry, saffron, and orange. You have middle notes of rose de mai, peony, and caramel, and you have base notes of amber, musk, moss, and vanilla. And even though there is a mention of rose de mai, that is a rose that wears in a lighter, like fleshier way. It's a very beautiful honeyed rose, and it doesn't wear as loud and overtake a scent in the way that something like a Turkish rose will do or a Bulgarian rose. It is a very beautiful rose with a softer quality to it. So I feel like if you do not vibe with rose, generally you don't have to fear this fragrance, okay? Because again, saffron, raspberry, caramel, that's what you're gonna get, and lots of amber. So ROCCA by Christian Parvizano, absolutely a banger, especially for spring and summer for me, but this one gets me so many compliments every time I wear it, all right? Again, this one is ROCCA. So this next one is a designer fragrance, and for the longest, people would always say, men love black opium. It doesn't matter how the women feel about it, men seem to love that scent. And I think in 2023, I finally added a bottle, this is actually my second bottle, of black opium La Parfum into my collection. And I have to say, there is something about this DNA that really does seem to capture the attention of men, because men compliment me on this every single time. Whenever I used to wear this to work, you better believe a man is going to say something about, oh my God, you smell good, or I smelled you in the hallway. There's just a compliment is going to come your way, period, okay? And I just love this so much because you do get that black opium DNA, but this is not going to be overpowering white florals. It's not going to be too in your face. And I feel like that's a lot of people's gripe with the original one. This one is just perfection because you have so much vanilla in this. The vanilla is truly the star of this fragrance because it is featured in multi tiers of it, and they just nailed this scent. This is so addictive, sweet, beautiful, and this is a really sugary, sweet designer that is just done right. Sometimes when the designer perfumes want to go in a very sweet direction, it is so cloying, overdone, and hard to wear. And there is just a particular something about it that can just be sickeningly sweet. I don't get that from here. Though it is very sweet, it's not OD, okay? So this opens with cinnamon, pear, and green mandarin. You have middle notes of jasmine sambac, solar notes, orange blossom, and you have base notes of Madagascar vanilla, bourbon vanilla, vanilla absolute, coffee, vanilla orchid, and patchouli. This mention of jasmine, triple vanilla, really four if you count the vanilla orchid. The coffee is what you're getting. You're getting that and not much else. There is a mention of the pear. You do get it a little bit because there is something fruity about this, the way it wears. The cinnamon is very, very, you know, lightly done. It's just a touch. And I just think that this is a remarkable designer fragrance. If your goal is to smell sweet, delicious, and very vanilla forward, then you have to check this one out. I absolutely love it, and I think you will too. So again, this one is Black Opium, the La Parfum, and honestly, the only black opium you need in your collection. And this is from the House of Yves Saint Laurent. Next up on this list is another designer, but this is definitely going to be on the pricier side of designer. This is Marshmallow Musk, and this is a blind buy and probably one of my best blind buys of 2024. This one just did not disappoint. It's so beautiful. It's very classy, super feminine, and it features a marshmallow. So I know it's hard to find a really grown-up, sophisticated marshmallow scent, but baby, they have nailed it at the House of Urfe. So this fragrance features lavender, okay? But don't let that scare you because I say a feature, but it's not actually a feature. It's in the fragrance, but I don't want it to scare you because lavender definitely has to be done a certain way, especially for me. And it's not easy to pull off in a feminine fragrance. This lavender is very dialed back, less than what you would even get in the original Burberry Goddess. So you have that. So you're getting this really fluffy marshmallow, and you get this powderiness that you would also, you know, get when you eat a marshmallow. It's definitely a powdery coating to it from the iris. So it's very, very powdery, and you do have to love iris powdery fragrances to vibe with this one. Some people will think that leans really mature. So just keep that in mind if you're thinking about trying this one. They do have the samples available on the website to purchase. So I would say start there if you're kind of on the fence about that. This one also features musk. So it's very musky. You've got additional powdery notes. So when I tell you it's powdery, I really do mean that, but I love powdery done in the right way. And that is exactly what this does. You know what? Now that I'm talking about this one, I really do wonder how this will layer with Poudre d'Or. I haven't worn that one in a while. I need to take it out, see how it wears with this one. But this one opens with magnolia petals. It also has some Earl Grey tea and lavender in the top. You have middle notes of jasmine, marshmallow, and iris, and you have base notes of musk, powdery notes, vanilla, and woody notes. I would definitely put this in the class of a vanilla gourmand, okay? But again, the way the florals are done, powdery quality of it, it is so classy and very grown up. So if you are looking for a gourmand that could literally be signature scent worthy, then this is one I highly recommend you check out. It's so beautiful and I cannot get enough of it. We're here, so we're a little bit below the halfway point, and you better believe that this will be a repurchase. When I wear this, my daughter compliments me all the time. And this is when I wore to a family function. My cousin smelled this on me. She took out her phone and she ordered it right then and there. Very first time I put this on, wore it out the house, I went through the door behind a lady. She turned around and she complimented me as soon as I walked. Crossed over the threshold, got a compliment, okay? Yeah, some people say they don't get great performance out of this, but maybe someone who's just sampling it, I don't know. I get moderate performance out of this. I always have. It didn't even have to like sit and macerate, do anything like that. Right out of the gate, you're going to get like a good 5 hours at minimum for me anyway, okay? So I would say 5 to 6 hours, then you're gonna have to top it off, but beautiful scent, okay? Beautiful scent. Again, this one is Marshmallow Musk, and this is from the house of Urfe. Next up is going to be a beautiful powerhouse fragrance. I've talked about it many times. This is a gourmand that just hits like no other to me. This is Unknown Pleasures, and this is from the house of Kerosene. They do a lot of gourmands. Their fragrances, there's always like a twist, a turn, something to keep it interesting. And this house is just not blind buy safe, period. So with that being said, do not blind buy this one. As much as I love it, it's not gonna be for everyone. This one is often compared to Lyra, but this is so much more of a powerhouse than Lyra is. And there is something a little different about it because you have the addition of the Earl Grey tea, and you really do pick up on that. It gives it a very unique quality, and for me, this is just gourmand 10 out of 10 perfection. A unique lemon, is it lemon or actually orange blossom featured in here? A very unique caramel citrus gourmand, I will say that, okay? So this one has the lemon, okay? I had to check and verify. This one opens with lemon. It also has some caramel, vanilla, Earl Grey tea, which I mentioned. You also have that bergamot. So it's a lot of citrus. In addition to that, you have honey and tonka bean. So for them to mention bergamot and lemon, that can just be very scary for me, but they have added so much sweetness that really does balance out the caramel and the honey, and I love it because the citrus gourmands are often a miss for me because citrus just wears so prominently on my skin and it's very sharp to my nose. So if you're someone who typically loves that scent profile, don't always listen to me when I'm telling you the citrus was too much, or you know, like acro bag, no, that lemon peel, don't listen to me. Try it for yourself because I'm just very sensitive to those notes, okay? So this one is just very loud. It lasts 12 plus hours, but I love every minute of it. It wears quite linear. So I feel like when you spray this on, it doesn't change up a lot for me. Some people may have a very different opinion about that, but this wears very linear to me on my skin. So I love this one. Huge, massive compliment getter, and it's so not hard to see why. It's so not hard. So this one again is Unknown Pleasures, and this is from the house of Kerosene. Next up is one of the most complimented fragrances in my entire collection, and I know she has not been getting as much shine since, you know, the 46 flanker has come into my orbit, but something about the original one, it just like captivates people. This one still to this day gets me more compliments than any other fragrance in my entire 300, probably 400 bottle perfume collection. And Amouage's guidance is very hyped. It really is. But this is just one that truly deserves every little bit of hype that it gets. It is extremely polarizing. So if you are new to fragrance, please take your time, okay? This is a house you got to ease into. If you you are only used to smelling designer, this may be very hard to understand, but just try it. Try it for yourself. Do not listen to anyone else's take on it, because your experience is just going to be your own, and you don't know what you're going to get until you yourself try it on your skin. Because I find that body chemistry is just a big thing with this fragrance. Some people get BO, some people get vajayjay, some people get, I'm just telling you, like, what? Some people get bad breath. I'm like, what in the world? To me, this smells like delicious apricots with wood. Something spicy in there. You don't know what is going on, but that's just kind of how Akigala wood plays, because you get a lot of that. I get rose. Oh my God, lots of vanilla. It's so sweet and addictive and complex, but in the most beautiful way. And I've talked about this ad nauseum probably to this point, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it. But with all that being said, it is my #1 compliment getter. I have been accosted, stopped, harassed about this, like, what are you wearing? Because it's just an attention grabbing, conversation starting fragrance, and it absolutely has tremendous sillage. It's beast mode. You will be fine with 1 or 2. My dumb behind, first time I wore this, probably I did about good 12, 15 sprays of guidance. I didn't know how I was going to wear, okay? I didn't know. And sometimes you really can't grasp how big the sillage is on a fragrance until you get other people's reaction. Because at some point, you're going to go nose blind to it to a certain extent. So yeah, people were just like, I smell you, like, all up and through the hallway, down the hall, around the corner. So 2-3 sprays is all you need of guidance, the original especially, but compliment getter without a doubt. So this next one is one that came into my life in 2023. And when I tell you, it has got me compliments ever since this came into my life. Donna Karan's Cashmere Palo Santo. I've raved about it so much, and it's just this very sweet, addictive, sugary, ambery, vanilla peach fragrance, but it's peach done in a very different way. This is not gonna be your typical peach fragrance, so if you're not a fan of peach, don't let that scare you. The Palo Santo, it doesn't wear smoky, okay? There's a very sexy, woody something going on. It's all your nose is gonna detect. It is very vanilla forward. It is very sweet. You do have to like it sweet. But what I love about this sweet fragrance is that they did not litter it with a whole bunch of florals, which is just kind of what they do in the designer world. You're getting tons of sweet white florals, and they may veer off into other territories, you know, by adding this and that in it. But that is pretty much what the designers love to give us. Lots of sweet white florals. This one, you've got a labdanum in here, okay? So the rock rose typically is a floral that gives a leathery facet. I don't get leathery from here though, not at all, but there is something very sensual about it. And between that, the Palo Santo, I'm guessing that's where the sexiness is coming in, because I don't think sexy when I hear peach and vanilla. And if I had to guess, there is a lot more going on in this fragrance than what the notes would suggest. You get a lot of cashmere. You're getting a very delicious, cozy experience with a sexy edge, okay? So compliment getter, I want to say like a week into owning this, I just was going about my day, honey. I put this on, went to the Whole Foods, and this employee was following me in the store. I didn't even know, but she finally stopped me and she was like, ma'am, I'm sorry, I smelled you when you came in, and I just had to know what you had on because I'm a fragrance girly. I told her what it was, and this was fresh, new release. Like, as soon as this dropped, I got it blind buy. She was like, I've never heard of it, but I'm gonna buy it. She loved it on me. Every time I wear this one, I get a compliment. I wear this around family, people compliment me on it. And it's just a beautiful scent. And it's not hard to see why it captures the attention of others, okay? So this one again is Donna Karan, Cashmere Palo Santo. Very hyped from this particular range from the house. And I'm not shocked. I am not shocked, okay? So last but not least is going to be Narcotic Delight. And this is from the house of Initio. So this one was new in 2024. And this is just totally a tobacco that blew me away, because first of all, it's very easy for a feminine fragrance wearer to pull this one off. A lot of tobaccos, they have to be either super duper sweet to give that vibe, or they just tend to lean a little masculine. My favorite tobacco scents are going to be this one and Tobacco Vanille, because they both have that in common. They don't smell alike, but this one, it's got a cherry in there, but the cherry is not the star, okay? okay? There is a little bit of a pepper, a vibe to this one, and you have a hedione note that comes in to further balance it and to make it, again, just a little bit more of a yin yang, okay? It's got something about it that has a feminine quality, but it also has a masculine edge because you've got the boozy notes, you have the spiciness, you have the tobacco. It's just well done. That is what I can say. And it has a great sillage, so whenever you put this on, whenever I wear it, someone compliments me. They say, oh, you smell really nice, or like, you know, just the, what are you wearing? Because they haven't quite smelled anything quite like it. There is a unique quality to Initio fragrances, even though the notes may not be, you know, the most groundbreaking or things we've seen before. They find a way to give us something unique, to give us something easier to wear, and to give us something very well executed every single time, okay? So this one again is Narcotic Delight. Men will love this on you, ladies. Give it a try, I'm telling you. And again, from the house of Initio. All right, you guys, so that is it for me. That is the video for today. Please drop me a comment below and let me know some of your most complimented fragrances for the previous year of 2024. We are in a new year and I cannot wait to get more fragrances into my collection, which means I'm probably have to let some go because, girl, where are we gonna keep them? But I'm super excited about what this year is gonna bring. We have some new exciting releases about to drop, which is the next video I'm gonna film. So stay tuned for that one. But you guys, it has been real. Thank you all so much for spending time with me in today's video, and I love you all. I will catch you guys on the next one.